Stick. 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 CERT training courses are beneficial because it helps residents to prepare themselves to be ready for any type of a disaster.
The classes are designed to be informative and entertaining.
This is some pretty fun stuff, learning how to move a mass weight off someone using little pieces of wood, putting out fires, touching the walls to make sure that nothing's damaged, knowing when to back out. That stuff, it's important, and definitely everyone should know it.
CERT classes are especially important because if a natural disaster does occur, it might be quite a while before help can reach you.
That's what we worry about the most is earthquakes, because there's going to be a huge disruption in service. And what everybody's been told is 72 hours. You have to sustain your stuff for 72 hours.
If a disaster does happen, it's important that people do know how to shut off their gas. They do have something packed like water, food, other resources that you're going to need because, likelihood is that we're not going to get help for like 5 days.
While Santa Barbara's location between the mountains and ocean is one of its greatest assets, there are a few drawbacks. For example, if a large disaster were to cut off one or both of the two highways that connect our area to the rest of the state, access by emergency resources would be greatly limited.
They always talk about how prone Goleta and Isla Vista is to having a disaster, and I think it's really important that we're all being trained in this because there's not that much help that we have, and in case those roads are shut down, we need to be able to respond.
The CERT program is very expansive and teaches a wide variety of necessary skills to prepare participants for any type of crisis.
The CERT class has 8 units in it. They go from fire extinguisher training to hazardous materials, disaster psychology, terrorism, light search and rescue, team building and organization. They also do 2 different sessions on medical triage. They learn about disaster preparedness, how to prepare a kit, and in the end, in Unit 8, they actually do a live exercise where they actually, everything that they've learned, they go out and they actually do. We give them a scenario, they go out and they do the work. We get volunteers, we moulage them, they have to rescue them, they have to search for them. It's a really fun drill. Kind of intense for them because they're just learning this, but a lot of the comments that we get back are people are so grateful that they took the class because somehow or other they've learned a skill that's helped them in their home or even in their neighborhood.
The biggest thing that CERT teaches you is that you're the most important person, because if something happens to you as a CERT team member, you can't help anybody else. So it's very important to have that aspect, not be a hero, not rush in, to stop and to think and to look and listen of what's going around and how to really slow down and assess the situation. And it's a methodical method that they teach you, and which I think holds true and would help people in any situation or life, not jump in until you're ready to do something.
I think they can translate to many things. I think one of the things they teach us is to keep calm and to really assess the situation, and that could be true of any situation if we come upon a car crash, I suppose, or any kind of thing that's out of the ordinary. It just says to take a moment, assess what's going on, and then make informed decisions about what you're going to do next to help the situation.
These skills come in handy more often than you would think. While taking the classes, students often have the opportunity to put their knowledge to the test in a real crisis.
One example was actually while this gentleman was taking a class, he had just gone through the medical triage, and outside of his home there was a rollover. And he knew exactly what to do. He knew how to hold on, how to do a head-to-toe assessment, how to talk to the woman, and he actually gave a good assessment when the fire crews came on scene.
Most students' favorite part of the course is the disaster simulation at the end, which serves as a culmination of everything taught throughout the previous 7 sessions and allows participants to demonstrate their knowledge in a realistic emergency drill.
That was very realistic, and I attended the drill to see what was going on, and I was just so taken by the dedication of all these CERT organizations that came together for this drill. They had a car on fire, they had a lot of pyrotechnic things going on, so it was very realistic.
CERT courses are not limited to English speakers. Through the Listos program, classes are taught in Spanish, so language is not a barrier to becoming emergency ready.
You know, seeing the change in them personally, you know, the smiles, the laughter, you know, the strength that's building in these women and these men, knowing that they can help themselves and their family, and that the language is no longer a barrier. It's conversational, it's inclusive, and we're reaching a population that has never been touched.